is too large for us. Do you recall when you heard a moving story and immediately felt brimming with inspiration? Around then, you should profoundly want to accomplish something remarkable throughout everyday life. In any case, the following day all inspiration disappears away. At the point when we stand by listening to an inspirational melody or watch any persuasive film, we feel on the highest point of the world. They remind us our fantasies. We feel so invigorated. Be that as it may, the inspiration keeps going for some time. Then, at that point, we make ourselves battle with the hardships of day-to-day existence. We start to lose confidence in ourselves. At last, we disregard our fantasies. Inspiration, the mystery of achievement. Do you have any idea about what makes incredible individual extraordinary? Which isolates them from others? How fruitful individuals can accomplish objectives consistently? The main mystery of their prosperity is inspiration. Fruitful individuals live in inspiration. Indeed, they are always filled with motivation. It's not possible for anyone to remain roused until the individual routinely effectively re-energizes himself with inspiration. Active persons have a lot of inspiring bases to a great degree. Whenever they carve out some opportunity, they sustain themselves with inspiration. Do you make it happen? Instructions to keep yourself propelled. At the point when I discuss having enduring inspiration, a pleasant piece of the Zig Ziglar quote comes into my brain. Today we frequently rationalize that we need more time day to day. Allow me to let you know that you don't have to save 30 minutes consistently only for inspiration. In this way, there is compelling reason need to rationalize. You just have to take little bits of time day to day to keep yourself persuaded. Tune in or read something persuasive only for 2 or 3 minutes and you will feel propelled for a few hours. It depends on you when you can figure out that opportunity pieces. For example, you can take care of encouragement yourself day after day. You might do it while shaving or washing up. You can do it during your driving or journeying. So, persuade yourself at whatever point you set aside opportunity. Instructions to ride on the inspiration. Inspiration resembles a fuel for the vehicle. It assists you with beginning life vehicle for your fantasy process. Presently, assuming that you keep your life vehicle at a similar spot regardless of whether it has begun, all your fuel will lose all sense of direction to no end. So, apply your stimulating fuel before it finishes. In what way? When you feel roused, make moves toward dreams. Thus, these activities will keep you inspired for a long time. A substantial amount of us has a vast hole between the intellectual and actions. Thinking alone never makes a difference. There are countless numbers of people who think a boundless deal. Many individuals dream and ignore any perceived limitations. Nonetheless, as opposed to making the following stride, they sit tight for marvels. They believe that the more encouragement will come. They swing tight for the amazing open doors. Meet the inspiration frequently. On the off chance that inspiration doesn't come to it, you take the plunge. In the event that an open door doesn't come, make it. You never understand your actual power. The incredible individuals of their time were all similar to us. The greater part of them were not conceived capable. They found their intention. They fostered their ability. They inspired themselves and accomplished their fantasies. That is it. Explore your talent and then keep yourself motivated. Inspired, what next? When you get a bit of inspiration, you will track down a desire to chip away at your fantasies. Try not to stand by too lengthy to even think about beginning. On the off chance that we stand by too lengthy, our positive considerations will vanish in the end and antagonism happens to us. In this way, our brain begins giving reasons. See any fruitful individuals. They have to strongly disagree a lot. They reason, plot and commence dealing with it. I'm speaking such an enormous volume about the actions. Wherefore, since a lonely arrangement of activity is significantly more remarkable than 100 observations, motivation, which comes from actions, is dependable inspiration. 7 methods for pushing yourself motivated and boosted. Inspiration is somewhat tricky, right? Occasionally you feel it, and different days you can't get a measly corner of it regardless of how enthusiastically you attempt. You gaze at the PC screen, willing yourself to type, make, create, and on second thought you wind up essentially making a cursory effort, scarcely thinking often about the work you're delivering. Clearly, you're unquestionably frozen, and you don't have the foggiest idea how to move yourself in any case. 1. Try not to consider it as difficult work. Consider it. On the off chance that the venture you're confronted with isn't seen as drudgery, but instead as a piece of the riddle that is helping you along your profession way, then, at that point, maybe the energy expected to do it will be more straightforward to drop by. 2. Make little, reduced down objectives. You've almost certainly heard this counsel previously. However, have you applied it to inspiration? Finishing a huge task is overwhelming when you don't have any idea where to start. How might you get done on the off chance that you don't actually have any idea where you're beginning? In this way, as opposed to zeroing in on an enormous, unnerving objective, take each thing in turn, and break the major objective into thoughts you can process each in turn. 3. Understand every day. Despite the fact that it might sound counter-useful to save perusing time when truly the thing you're searching for is inspiration to really buckle down, in some cases it's important to do something apparently irrelevant to handle the main job. Fostering a day-to-day perusing propensity is one thing that is probably going to lastingly affect your manners of thinking, eventually motivating you in all parts of your life. 4. Quit thinking often about the things that don't make any difference. Look cautiously and intently at your rundown, and shave off whatever's both really demotivating and pointless for you to do. It's not generally best to complete what you began if, down the line, you couldn't in fact recall the explanation you began something in any case. 5. Set a quit time. Lift your hand assuming you're spurred all day, every day. I didn't think I'd see any hands. It's ridiculous to feel invigorated constantly, to need to crash through assignments constantly. You want to give yourself a rest, and assuming that implies giving yourself a predefined set opportunity to turn off or get some distance from the requests of your work, then, at that point, make it happen. It's probably going to assist you with performing harder and more astute in the hours that you accomplish designate for work. 6. Do what needs to be done. Presently, here's some advantageous exhortation. Rather than sitting around idly, willing yourself to feel persuaded, imagine a scenario in which you just felt free to begin accomplishing the work you realize you really want to do. You really want plunge into the undertaking and trust that the center will. 7. Observe wins. On the off chance that you're continually sitting tight for a drawn-out result, you fail to remember how urgent every one of the little wins are. Also, it tends to be trying to remain roused and in control, assuming there's not a single prize to be found. Indulge yourself with little things and don't misjudge how satisfying it can feel to perceive minuscule headways.